The problem with you? Yeah, tell me the problem with you.
The problem with what?
Okay, you.
What does you mean?
Like, you have a problem.
What is the problem?
You.
Yeah, there's circular reasoning. Yeah, you just showed that you're morally incompetent or logically incompetent. My bad. For medical.
Yeah, so
This guy, bro. No.
This guy. No, I don't actually have an argument. So I just have to say this guy.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Hold on.
Okay, so just dodge. That's dodge number one. Got it.
That's a dodge. Okay.
Yeah, because you just don't want to argue it.
Yeah.
You already posited that you conceded to that point. Yeah, dodge one. Okay. Dodge two. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, what's gonna be your value deductive argumentation deposit? That was being in bad faith because I was debating with a juvenile or a minor, which also I'm a minor too, so I don't really understand the proposition at hand. So
yeah.
yeah.
I'm a minor too, but that's like a child, not a minor. That's like she was like 12 or something.
Oh, my bad.
I don't know. It was like 12 or something.
That if they were in a life emergency, that you'd be forced to give up all your organs. Let's say that they needed a heart.
Ooh, no, I wouldn't say that. No.
Why?
Because I wouldn't say that. You of your own. Oh wait, let me quickly think. Okay, so wait, can you quickly restate the question? I have to.
Yeah, so if you're so if you put a person in dependency and they are put in that dependency because of you, you should be full willingly like contributing to their accident that you caused. So for anything that happens to them, that is a direct correspondent towards your action. So because they're dependent and you put them in a state of criticality, if they're in a life emergency, you're gonna be the one who's dependent, or you're gonna be the one who's gonna be responsible for anything that happens to them. So if they need a heart transplant, you'd be the one who they would take.
Ooh, that's actually a really good question. Let me think about that. No, I wouldn't say that because for heart transplants, there are actually other ways than, for example, because I would be dead if I would have to do the heart transplant, or I could do the heart transplant, but then I get another heart transplanted because like that both lives are safe, and you can actually use animals' heart as to replace a human's heart. That was actually done in a lot of cases.
Yeah, so wait, so hold on. We're not going to hold any other type of side position. We don't even really have to hold any other position. I'm just asserting this one as saying, if you were to give your heart, would you be agreeing upon it? You're holding like other conditions saying, oh, well, there's other ways you can give a heart to someone. They could use an animal heart. Okay, so let's say, for example... Okay, so hold on. So they're going to be dependent upon you. So let's say it doesn't take your life, but there's going to be lifetime disability towards you. They're going to need like constant bone marrow transplants and blood donations. Because you put them in a state of dependency, so should they rely on you upon all those donations?
Yes, then in my opinion, yes.
Okay, so you should be severely disabled for the rest of your life, is what you're agreeing upon.
Yes, because that's the consequence of your action.
Okay, so if it would take your life, would you agree upon that too? Wait, why does taking of life? Why does taking? Yeah, so like I said, heart transplant. No, you. So let's argue because you're saying there's different ways. So you can have an animal heart transplant, you can have a pacemaker. Let's say there's a critical moment where they need a heart transplant like almost instantaneously or in the next like hour or so. So there's not gonna be any like circumstance where they're gonna be given an animal heart or a pacemaker because this is a critical stage, and you're gonna be the only person that is gonna be the only individual who has the heart that can be donated.
That's not a real life scenario.
We're not holding scenarios. We're saying the act of dependency lies upon the person who put him in that state of dependency, which is you. So any case that they have that is correlated to that dependency, you're gonna be the one who's responsible.
If it's a realistic scenario, then yes.
We're not holding. Wait, hold on. We're not holding upon legality or conceptual based like examples or like scenarios where you can dodge or run away. We're not gonna do that. Just answer the question. Don't be like, oh, well, there's other ways you can do it. Sure, we can assert that. I'll grant you that position. But that's not what we're asking. We're saying if you were forced to give your heart, would you agree upon that because you put them in a state of dependency? We're not saying they could be given another heart. Sure, they could. We're saying if you had to, would you agree upon that? And he said, oh well, no, because you can be given an animal heart or like anything like that, a peacemaker. Sure, but we're not arguing that. Like I said. Okay, so if you're forced to give your heart,
yes.
Okay, so you should give your life to someone. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's literally all you have to say. So, for example, okay. So you agree upon forced organ donation, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
Huh?
You're just switching up my words in my mouth right now because you came me with a scenario that if
you agreed upon it. Wait, hold on, I'm clipping this.
That would be forced to.
Yeah, clipping this so you can't.
And now you're coming with forced organ donation, which has nothing to do with the current debate.
Is that not correct? Wait, hold on. If you're willingly disagreeing upon a heart transplant, even though you put someone in a state of dependency where they need a heart, you're gonna be the only donor, and you agreed upon yes, you should give their heart to them, then you are agreeing upon forced organ donation.
No, because forced organ donation.
Oh, wait, hold on. Give me your definition then. Wait, hold on, my bad. Let me hear your definition.
Oh, because it wouldn't be forced organ donation if we took a real life scenario, for example, that the person would get an animal heart.
One eternity later.
Let's say you're not forced organ donation. You're forced you're forced permanent disability, right? Okay, so you can be forced permanent disability. You don't even have to write forced organ donation. That by itself, forcing a person into a permanent disabled state is already an insane moral decision to die on. So you're gonna die on the hill of being of agreeing upon people being forced to be permanently disabled. So let me write this down. Well, I'm clipping this down. Yeah. Okay. So would you die on the hill upon that?
No.
You're not gonna die upon the hill for permanent disability?
No.
Okay, yeah, so give me your reasoning.
Because
even though you disagree upon it.
No, I did not.
Okay, so you should be severely disabled for the rest of your life, is what you're agreeing upon.
Yes, because that's the consequence of your action.
Okay, so
you're just switching up words.
I clipped that. Wait, hold on. I literally clipped that and you agreed upon it. So funny.
I did not. I agreed upon your scenario.
Oh, so you agreed upon my scenario, but you don't hold that to be true? Wait, so you can agree upon... Wait, hold on. So you can...
That would not be a realistic situation.
Wait, hold on. You don't think it's a realistic situation where someone crashes into someone and they put them in a state of dependency?
If someone drank drive and crashed into someone, they would have to sit their sentence in prison. morals, it isn't.
It's so easy to precog what you're gonna say. You're just gonna say no to everything. Yeah, so wait, based on your own morals, you just said that morals are subjective towards countries, and then you also said legality is gonna be the main factor of determining these moral facts. So for an individualized country to say that killing is right or like protesting is banned, and then that's just fine to them. You disagreed upon it, even though you agreed upon morals are based on laws, which is insane. But also saying that
Based on
oh,
our,
you just follow.
based on our,
Yeah, based on
our
our what?
moral system.
Yeah, based on our moral system.
the
That is
country
what?
would
Based upon
want.
our laws.
Based on our moral system.
Yeah, how do
Your
we-
own morality. And based on, if you ask a person from one of those countries, they say
Wait.
it's, or maybe they say, I don't know what they're gonna say, but they say it's wrong that people should be able to demonstrate. Maybe, I don't know. But
Yeah, and what
because
if wait? What if the
that's
majority says it's okay?
moral,
What if the majority says it's okay, and they're the minority? What happens now?
Then that's the freedom of speech.
Wait, what? What? You're not tracking. Wait, I literally asked. So you said, oh, well, if you ask someone from a different country, and they agree upon you, we can say that that's wrong, and that we're gonna use our own moral factors. So, for example, if I were to say killing is right, and then another person says no, it's wrong, but like 100,000 people say it's right, and there's only 10,000 people who say it's wrong, I'm gonna be the person who's in the right saying killing's right. Are you agreeing upon that? Or are you just gonna say mute? Did I win? Yo, type 1 in chat if I won. Yeah, that's why I'm called the master. D.
Yeah.
That's amazing, creator. Okay, what's your opinion on, you know,
What's your opinion? Or what do you want to say?
I disagree with the topic.
if are you with or against?
When I say I disagree with the topic, we can just deduce that I'm gonna be pro-choice.
Yeah.
Was that all?
Oh no, we can just further elaborate. Wait, do you hold that position?
As in?
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Wait, I'm sorry.
As in.
She said
As-
in.
She said as in.
Wait, as in is irrelevant. I just asked you, do you hold the, do you hold the position of the topic? There's no
I
elaborating on
was trying to say, like, I mean, yeah, obviously there's no elaborating, but there is multiple ways that you could just go deeper into the topic.
How do I get deeper into? So I'm just gonna. Okay, so do you agree upon the underlying fundamentals that abortion is wrong?
I think abortion is right depending on the situation. Because I'm gonna get. Sorry.
I can't hear two people at the same time.
Go ahead, Angel.
Okay, so I think abortion is right, but in so many places that it also could be wrong. Like.
No, I'm not gonna. No. I understand what the premise is gonna be. I'm gonna ask what's the underlying core principle behind this. You can make examples upon why you believe something's wrong, why something's correct. You're still gonna have to answer like what's gonna be the necessary condition there. So like for example, you can say, oh, well, I don't believe that rape victims or little kids should be able to or like forced to carry a pregnancy. So we could say that they can abort it. But an individual who was willingly and consented to these acts, and then the byproduct of it was them becoming pregnant, I don't think they should have an abortion. So there's gonna be like a pragmatical view set. Yeah, but what's gonna be the main principle behind this?
What do you mean by that?
Like, what do you mean? I'm so sorry, I'm so confused.
Yeah. So wait. So you don't believe in abortion at all? It's just circumstantial. So you're just circumstantial by nature. Is it? So you don't really hold it.
Okay.
Yes, you don't hold.
There are not direct questions. You can't say yes or no. There are topics where you have to actually delve deeper and look at the circumstances you're in.
Yeah, but you don't assert. Yes. No, but you can't assert a position upon something if you don't even hold any like opinion upon it. So, for example, you can have like an argument saying, "Well, I believe fetuses have the right to life because at conception they are alive." That's going to be a pro-life stance. But if you're just going to be a circumstantial person, that's just being circumstantial. It's not an argument upon abortion.
Okay then.
So, you're just circumstantial. No, I'm just critiquing. Like, wait. So, do you?
Make that to be sure.
Well, if I'm wrong, then elaborate.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying there are no. It's all about circumstances here. You can't say like yes in all cases this is right. Yes in all cases this is wrong.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. No. But why? Wait. Why do you believe things are right and wrong? That's what I'm trying to ask you.
Because of morals.
Yeah. So, what are your morals going to be? Okay, we're getting somewhere. What are your morals going to be upon abortion then?
Your morals are going to be dependent on the mother's responsibilities. I mean, if she's responsible for whatever's going on in her life, she doesn't want to carry this baby. The
Oh,
morals have to do.
Yep.
What? Go ahead.
No, I'm an analytical person, so if you hear me typing, I'm just typing out like I'm just transcripting what you're saying so I can read it.
I have a Mr. Debater, I have a question.
Go ahead.
What's your stance on the topic?
Yeah, I'm pro-choice.
Why?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna hold like a latent capacity for a high order of consciousness or sentience. This is gonna typically occur around 24-week mark, but we can go even lower at the 20-week mark just to be safe. But we're just gonna hold contentions that just the right to life is gonna be based upon certain characteristics that you have to have met before we grant you this right to life. So for example, we're just not gonna say that being alive is just gonna grant you the right to life. You're gonna have to hold some like characteristics that align with it. So for me, it's gonna be the capacity for consciousness or latent capacity for higher order consciousness or
Do you think
sentience.
it's opinion based?
So I think it's what do you mean?
Opinion-based?
Substantiate. What does that mean?
Like, do you think each person has their own like view of like, for example, some people think it's a conception, some people think it's like when they feel pain, some people think.
Yeah, some people hold contentions with everything. We're just gonna have to agree upon what sounds more logical
Yeah, and what is
or valid and
so what
sound.
sounds the most logical to you?
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, so we can make hold on. So we can hold contextual like reasoning upon this. So at the end of life, we can agree upon that end of life isn't just upon the ending of like homeostasis or any of those like traits that you can have. I think most people would agree upon that the end of life is once you lose consciousness or the capacity for consciousness or the end of brain activity. I think that's what we can all agree upon because we can agree that being brain dead, even though your heart and everything else is still working, your brain isn't working. So we can still categorize that as you being dead. So I think the main fundamental is brain activity, but not just like brain activity and like two sparks just happening. It's gonna be some sort of brain activity that's emergent of a property that we consider to be consciousness. So that's why I'm gonna hold the position of capacity for consciousness. So that's gonna be my reasoning on it.
I agree to you to an extent, but I just want to like question you, like, okay, let's say hypothetically, you know how there's some immortal jellyfish that once they reach a certain age, they go back and like downgrade their ages back to a youthful age, or whatever. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, the immortal jellyfish where rebirth is
Yeah,
self-dying.
so-
Yeah. What about it?
Yeah, so let's hypothetically say a person reaches an age, right?
Yep.
And then let's just say they like magically downgrade. Would you say
Yep.
like after death, like they die, the brains die, and then like I don't know, let's say a day later they
Yeah, they lack capacity for consciousness. Yes.
So
Wait,
would you
so-
say that the fact that they lack consciousness for a day, like they were dead, or like people, for example, like that their heart stops and their brain activities that they have to shock the heart again, would you consider that like murderable? Like that has no.
What do you mean? What does murderable mean?
Well, you said you're pro-choice, right? So you think it's okay to murder, right? And you were saying that you think it's okay
Wait.
until to the point where they don't have brainwaves, right? That's what you were saying. Like they don't have like consciousness.
Yes, there's the active right to life. Yes. Yep. But we're not taking away moral
So-
consideration.
So you think it is moral to kill even at conception?
Yeah.
So
Even at conception.
why do you think
We can
it's
create-
moral
we can
to
create
kill?
paradigm.
In fact, what is morality in your view?
What are
Wait,
your morals
I mean, we can go into the meta ethics of
on
it.
this topic?
Yeah, so I'm more utilitarian.
About morality.
Yeah, I'm more
Well,
utilitarian.
Morality is like a big thing, but I guess I mean we could go to the topic of morals.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pause. I'm a utilitarian. But like, I don't understand how this has to do with anything.
Because you said it was
It's
moral
okay to-
at conception.
No, I said I hold moral consideration. I said I hold moral consideration regardless.
No, yeah, but then you said yeah when I said you think it's moral to kill a baby at conception, you said yeah.
Do I think it's moral? Okay, wait, hold on. So there's some like nuance when I say that. So I think granted upon, I think there's some sort of killing that we can justify. So pulling the plug is killing. Death penalty, even though it's debated, it's also killing. I think for me, I disagree upon it, but some people can agree upon it. But for sure, pulling the plug is killing. We can agree upon that. Pulling the plug is it gonna be a moral wrong? Do you agree upon it?
Pulling the plug is gonna be moral wrong.
Yeah. Do you agree? Wait. So yeah, do you agree upon pulling the plug being a moral wrong?
That depends on the situation. If there's no return and they live in pain, of course, I think it's moral to do so. Yes, because then you're saving them from pain and torture. Because I don't think torture is a moral thing to do. But if like let's say there's a high chance, like let's say it's a coma, or there's a high chance, like
Let's say they're brain. Wait, hold on. Let's say they're brain dead, but they're on life support.
like brain dead, then I
Are
think
they gonna? Is there a possibility of recovery?
Brain death has no recovery now.
no, I think brain death would strap them away from their like true sense of self, and I think that's just gonna be a living thing. That's not
It's just gonna
like
be-
that won't be.
Doesn't that
entirely-
predicate-
I don't want to
wait,
say human.
Doesn't that predicate
Human,
individual?
like,
Wait, hold on. Let's say for example, no, let's not hold a brain dead person because you can make an argument upon like a fetus having like some sort of brain activity. Let's say it's a PBS person. So
no. I was gonna say the potential. Like the point I was gonna bring up about like the whole reincarnation thing is because the person would have a potential to come back even though they're dead for days. Same thing when there's life at there's life at conception. I think people say that because they see potential that it can become a living thing. But when someone dies, they can't like be born again.
Okay, wait. I think
that one life.
yeah, I think actualizing potentiality is a dumb argument. Can I show you why?
Also,
Yeah. So let's say for example, yeah. So can we take for example, you're alive, right? But do you hold the position that the 100% potentiality that you're gonna die in the future?
yeah,
So can we just categorize you as being dead?
no, because that's not what is in the current moment.
Wait, so yeah, you just wait. So hold on, you agreed upon potentiality and actualizing it, even though it hasn't even been actualized. But then you just said at the current moment. So current moment means that you've actualized this current property, but you've also agreed upon potentiality can also be actualized. So that's just gonna be direct, like,
You're mixing it up because it is impossible. Can you predict Bitcoin?
no, but we can predict. Wait,
Can you predict that a living being may come out of a mother's like Of
Yeah.
course you can. And can you predict that you're gonna grow a year older in a year? Of course you can. But you can't predict the future. Am I gonna die tomorrow or in a year? That's
no,
not-
but we can
that's
predict that.
not-
Wait,
it's
hold on.
the same.
Wait, pre-temporal. Wait, so temporal events don't hold any signature for like it being a day or it being like 10 years from now. We just said the potential. We didn't even say anything about like it being a day or a week. I don't think that even holds any like argumentative
I'm not
reasoning.
talking about time. I'm not talking about time.
Wait, but you just held.
Knowing
Wait,
it.
yeah, no, you just made an argument saying.
A random example.
Yeah, you just said that in a day, we can predict something like a day or a week, or we can predict that a woman's gonna be that a baby's gonna go through a woman's U-Haul, which also we don't. There's C-sections, but let's just grant that position. We can also but then you said that we can't predict death, which we
Oh,
can.
yeah, you don't know if I'm gonna die tomorrow.
We don't have to agree upon when you're gonna die. We're just agreeing upon that you are going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can just grant that you're dead.
Are going to.
Yeah, we can grant that they're gonna be.
Yeah.
Look, there's a- okay,
You're basically okay. So you want it? So are you saying my?
I'm just
Are you
holding.
saying my existence is a super? Are you saying is my existence a superposition? You saying
Wait.
that it's like the analogy of a cat. When you put a cat with a like mustard like gas in there and you leave the cat for like I don't know 30 minutes and you close the box. Right? You close the box 30 minutes. The cat can either be dead or alive, but it's unknown until you open the box. So it currently lives in a superposition of being alive and
Wait,
dead.
why are we going to
It's
quantum
not-
mechanics?
superposition. I mean, that's the only really word I know how to state it for. Because like I'm not in a superposition.
I'm
of
just-
being as dead because I'm alive. You're gonna be contradicting.
Yeah, wait, no, wait, but then you hold on. So I'm clipping this. Wait, so I clip all my arguments because I hold a YouTube channel. You agreed upon potentiality and actualization.
Yeah.
Wait, so hold on. Wait, do you not understand what you're saying? You're agreeing upon potentiality and actualization. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know,
wait, so
but you're-
wait, so why are we granting potentiality and actualization?
no, because in the way you were saying it, you're saying
right
that.
now?
Wait, no, this is my chair. That's my chair.
No, I was just saying how you can't compare the fact
shit,
that
I'm mixing both.
because the thing you know that a child, if a woman is pregnant, you know like a child or a living thing can come out of that womb. You know that there's a possibility of death, but you know that women hold the ability to give birth to human beings, even if it's like whatever little chance. You know that you can predict that it's going to be a living being. You can predict people are going to die.
Wait, you can't predict.
but-
Wait, you can't predict that it's a living being, but you can 100% predict that you're gonna die.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah, so
But
wait, being
you know,
wait, so being dead would hold a more stronger argument.
yeah. I lost my main point. Like I agree with you, right? But I lost my main point. What I was thinking starts at 4 a.m. bro.
That's all good. Yeah, it's 4 for me. Wait, you live in the west side? That's cool.
Yeah.
It's far. Okay. Yeah. Wait, do you concede on my point then?
Cut you off.
No, I understand. You're making good points.
Okay, cool.
Sorry to cut you guys off.
That's fine.
Can I just let Zane up? I really want to see what he has to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop down. I gotta go eat pizza before it gets cold. I love you guys. I hold no contention with y'all. Like, I'm not gonna